At the
But
beginning of midnight, you know, the quiet part and the quiet build, there was some lightning above the stage, above out of David's view, but from the front of the lawn, I could see it, and it wasn't like really close, but it was bright enough, like, and there was audible noise from the crowd, like ooh or oh, from the crowd and we saw 4 or 5 of those. But they gave a midnight that was well into the 10 above 10 minute. I mean, it seemed to me like it was a normal length. It was a nice midnight, and but then you could tell like they had been asked, but they did not cut it short. It didn't seem like anything abrupt about what they did.
no,
Not that I would judge
totally
them if
agree.
not that I would judge them if they did. I just want
Yeah,
I just want the story and to paint the picture. Was it raining?
it was drizzling to moderate rain during their set. Um, wasn't as bad as the year before. I was completely drenched at the Outlaw Festival the year before, completely drenched. It wasn't as bad. I wonder if it rained some between TTB and Willie.
Yes,
I
I know. Yes, it did,
I
Jeff.
think it rained
Because
harder then. Yeah,
yeah, once they went off or whatever, I was gonna was gonna go outside, out from under the cover there to see about something, and it was really coming
yeah.
down at that point. So yeah, it did come down pretty hard at some point, and then it eased. When we ended up leaving after Willie, it had stopped raining completely after after his set. But hey, let's talk about some of this
Yeah.
music
Yeah, I
here.
wanted to ask about Somebody Pick Up My Pieces. Did the crowd especially react when Susan went into that? Did Willie? Do we know if Willie maybe even caught her playing it or anything like
Uh,
that?
I don't know about that, but she did say that she said they checked with Annie, I guess is Willie's wife, Annie and Willie. They said we checked with them about playing, one of his songs, and since he's not
Smart.
playing it, they had given the blessing for them to play it. So she did have an intro and a little bit of a talk about that.
That's
And
so polite. That's music etiquette, and most musicians, especially this band, and they're polite and know the industry, know to do that when you're going to a festival. Kind of check with the band if you do covers. But I didn't even think of that. Like, what if Willie wants to play that? A half hour later, maybe
Yeah.
he might not be mad at Susan or Derek, but that might not be his preference. And if you had that knowledge in advance, both bands could adjust accordingly. But
Willie's set list was those 2 nights was the same both nights on paper that I saw, and it changes by a song or two at other shows of late. But she did say thank you to Willie, and it was a real audible, like, sweet moment back where I was. And man, I really enjoyed the song. I had a really close friend that I haven't seen in a long time, and we were arm in arm, really enjoying that moment that they played that song. It was pretty fun.
yeah. And to hear that and Last Night in the Rain is two sort of surprises and things that
And
haven't got
it
too
didn't
much
start
play.
raining. It didn't start raining until after Last Night in the Rain. I know they put it in the set list thinking it could have been a rainy night. It was supposed to be a rainy day. We really got lucky, but yeah, I kept thinking during it like it's not raining and they're playing this. But then by the time Feel So Bad was going, that's when the rain started coming.
Well, we got pounded, Jeff. So we drove over from Raleigh Saturday morning, and it
Yeah,
was pouring in
early.
Raleigh.
Yes, sir.
It
Yes, sir.
was just, I mean, I think Notre Dame was playing NC State in Raleigh. They've suspended the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was our drive over was. I mean, people had their flashers on. I mean, it was brutal. Just a couple hours away from Charlotte and Raleigh, the weather was brutal most of the day.
Yeah.
So we were fortunate that it did hold off. And then we got Feel So Bad again. I don't know. How'd that sound from where you were, Jeff? Again, I was dancing
I
as
loved
bad
it,
as I
man.
can.
I was telling my friend, I was talking about that song and how we probably wouldn't hear it, but I thought he would really like it. It was another friend that went with me that hadn't seen them before. So we had a nice, exciting run from Somebody Pick Up My Pieces through that, and the rain started, and we knew we were going to get wet. And then David Hidalgo came out. So it was an epic feeling show for me through all of that. And I heard you talk about Yes, We Will on the, I think Adam's
My
intro.
intro, yeah.
And I and I got those albums and really dug into them for a whole solid year when that came out. Like each month I got the CD because I have a CD player in my van, little old school. And man, Susan just let it go. It's a great song. And I don't know, it was an epic moment for me during Yes We Will. Almost my favorite thing of the whole set I saw. Love that. I love that she gets her run and that she holds up and holds her own and does everything just the way she does. It's pretty awesome. Great song.
Yeah, it really is a very Susan centric song, from her singing it and putting, her values into the song, and sharing her inspiration, both, with her intros and lyrically throughout, and the guitar work and the interplay between her vocals and the guitar work and the soloing.
Yeah.
It's the tribute it is to BB musically, and really blues music in general. It's just like such a great modern but also timeless version of a blues song, like really true to Susan roots. And in some ways, I feel like it's a song we could have maybe heard on a Susan record years ago, but with TTB in 2023, it's just like taken to the next level by the support she has around her, and through her own growth as a musician, whatever, and journey all these years leading up to writing the song and taking it on the road and having it become what it's become, which is like a favorite in the minds and ears of so many people.